In this demonstration, we're going to show the integration between QRadar and Guardium. We all know that Guardium is the best tool to protect databases. It can warn you when somebody is trying to get access to a database that they're not supposed to, and it can even block that access. But it does that without turning any logs on. And that's the beauty of it, because it saves a lot of performance and many other reasons to do that. But so we love Guardium, but how do we make Guardium to tell QRadar about things that it's blocking or it's warning or it's finding about? So that's what this demo is all about. Before I proceed, I want to thank our friend Dr. David Drucker and Steve Kane, who have put and maintained this system that we're using for the demo today. So we're going into this fictitious system called Altoro Mutual, and we log in as the administrator of it. And in this particular corporate account, we have $52 million. Okay, good. So now, let's say that we perpetrate some sort of advanced persistent threat attack, and we gain access to the system, and we can launch a console. We can move the money from one account to another to cash it in. So it's actually, if we actually run this shell command here, we can see that we see the same balance of $52 million back in there. But I can actually run a SQL command that will enable me to actually steal the money. So that command actually moves the money from one account to another, and left only $1.61 into that account. And in fact, if I go here and refresh this screen, we see that there's only $1.61 left. So the attack has been perpetrated. But actually, the beauty of this is that those events that Guardium actually found, and we show the policy. We'll show the policy in a second or so, has actually been sent to QRadar. So if we go to the QRadar console on the logs, and we are filtering to get only these events on the Guardium event, we get 2 events in here, and actually we can see that has been the DB2 admin is the user who perpetrated this attack. And here we can actually even see that this is a leaf format, which is one that QRadar understands very well, and it's separated by those pipes characters that we see in there. And we actually see the actual command, the SQL command that was actually executed for that attack. But how do we make all this work? So let's start by going into the InfoSphere, the Guardium, InfoSphere Guardium console. So here we're going to go to Tools, and the option is Policy Builder, I believe it is. Let's click in here, because here's where you define the policies. I'm by no means know much about Guardium, but at least I've been shown this. So here the integrated demo is the policy that was set up for all this. So let's click here on Modify, and we see that policy. We click here to edit, and these are the actual policies that were put in here. And actually, I believe that if we click here on the pencil, we can see it better. So basically, we are saying anyone that is not DB2, the DB2 user is not Altoro, which in this case matches because we were using DB2 admin on this particular database. It's actually what the policy are. You can here define whether you want to log it locally, whether you want to actually block it, or whether you want to alert, which is actually what we want to do. And here we show that the message template that we're using is leaf, which is what QRadar understands. So this is what sets that policy that says when anyone tries to access a database that is not the username Altoro, an event is going to be sent in a leaf format to QRadar. I can even open, I already have open a CLI interface in here, and we click here help to see what commands do we have, and one of the commands that we have is actually show. So if we do show question mark to get the help, one of the things that we can actually show should be here remote logs, and here it is, remote log. So if we do show remote log, we can actually see the configuration, and this is the important one, the daemon.alert, and that's the configuration and the port 514. This is how all this gets defined. The final piece is actually to go into QRadar's admin console and go into log sources and actually define the DSM, which is out of the box for Guardium. So we click here, and you specify, like you do with any DSM here, you can specify the credibility you want to give to Guardium event. That probably will give it a bigger credibility, probably a credibility of 10 to Guardium events, and this completes the puzzle. Now, there's another thing that I can show you, just for the sake of completeness, is how Guardium can actually not only detect that somebody's trying to steal stuff, but actually how to block it. In one of those policies, one of the things that you can actually do is actually block a user. So first, let me click on this executable here to put the money back. And in fact, if we can even go here and refresh the screen, and I should have the $52 million back. And now let me actually open another command, db6. This, unlike the other one that we use, this one actually is going to be blocked if it tries to attempt to steal the money. So if we here view accounts, we see that there are the 52 million. If we try to execute the same command to steal the money, we actually see that this one didn't actually go through like the previous one. In fact, if we click execute the view accounts again, we see that the $52 million are still there. So Guardium actually blocked that attempt from me. Going back to QRadar, we even set this up to, here it is, to generate an offense. And we see that the offense is actually for the user DBA6. This is the one that actually was actually blocked from accessing, from transferring that money.